Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Passionate Professional series. My name is Tunde Kukoyi, and I'll be the host of tonight's episode. Can you believe it? It's episode 10 already. It only seems like yesterday when we started, and guess what? We're already on the 10th episode. That means that for the past 10 months, we've been bringing you people, passionate professionals from different walks of life that are not just defining themselves by their titles, but they are people that are out there, going out there in the world and making a difference and making positive contribution, doing significant things in the world. And thank you for all of you that have been joining, either watching live or watching the replays or listening to this as a podcast. This show would not be here if not for you. Thank you. Thank you so much for supporting all through the 10 episodes that have been going on so far. This Passionate Professional series is a production of the Passion and Purpose Hub, which is a channel on YouTube that shares knowledge that helps you maximize your passion and purpose so that you do not just enjoy success, but also fulfillment in your personal and professional lives. Like I've said before, the Passionate Professional series is all about bringing those inspiring professionals from all walks of life, whether it be government, business, education, healthcare, sports, whatever it is, you name it. People that are not just defining themselves by their titles, like I said earlier, but people that are living inspiring lives because the quality of your life actually depends on the quality of your connections, the quality of the people in your life. So, what the Passionate Professional series does, it brings these people closer to you so that you can learn from them, you can let their greatness, their inspiration rub off on you as well. Our guest for today is already in the studio and she's ready to add value to us. But as is the tradition of this series, I always think of something to use as an introduction or as a cue to bring in the guest. And I was thinking, I mean, I already had something prepared to use to introduce today, but when I was just arranging everything for the series and looking at the profile of our guest, and I was like, you know what? I think there's something else that will fit as an introduction for her. And what I think will be an introduction will be a famous poem. It's something that you might have seen before, or you might have read it before, or if you watch movies, you might have seen in the movie before. But I believe that this will be a very, very good introduction for our guest who's in the studio today. So here's the poem. The name of the poem is Our Deepest Fear. And it's a poem by someone named Marianne Williamson, and it was in a book, A Return to Love. So I'll read the poem now, and then afterwards I'll read the bio of our guest, and then we'll bring her to the stage because she's ready to add value to us. So here goes the poem. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You're a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. And as we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. That's such a powerful poem, and every time I read it, it kind of gives me shivers because it just makes me realize that many times we think that we're scared of failure, but deep inside, I think what we're really scared of is success. Many people are not scared of crouching in the audience on the back seats. What they're really scared of is being there in the limelight, standing on the stage, and that is the fear of our success. But the person that we're bringing to talk to us today is someone that's actually been able to come against all those fears, to overcome the low confidence and low self-esteem, and to come out in full confidence, and by so doing, giving other people the permission to also express their confidence and bring their light into the world. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest today by reading our bio. So our guest today is Eloho Efemuai. I'm not sure I pronounced that right. When she comes, she'll give us the correct pronunciation. So pardon me if I got that wrong. So she's a brand visibility coach. She's a singer, she's a speaker, she's an author and radio broadcaster who helps creatives, entrepreneurs, and women of faith stand out using the power of visibility to shine their light, to amplify their message, and to go from unknown to unforgettable. I really love that. She runs Scotland's number one Christian radio station, Heart Song Live in Edinburgh. You can find her broadcasting words of inspiration every Monday to Thursday morning from 6:30 a.m. After years of struggling with her own identity, she released a book, which she wrote in lockdown. You are not everyone's cup of tea. Stop doubting your potential, live a fulfilled life, regain self confidence and self worth. It became an overnight Amazon number one bestseller, not only in the UK, but in the United States and Canada too. She has been featured on um, I can't really see, sorry. She's been for a daily record, Channel 4's Come Down With Me. And as a Maxwell certified coach, her desire is to add value to the people she encounters, especially those who struggle with a lack of confidence and low self esteem, helping them to break free from stereotypes and to become the persons that they were designed to be. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's the wonderful profile of our guest. And I'm just going to bring out to the stage. I wish I had like this virtual round of applause, but I don't have that yet. So I'll just bring out to the stage.
I can do that for you. Wow,
Welcome, Eloho.
all of that. Thank you so much. When you were reading my bio, I was like, wow. I sent the bio to you, right? But hearing you
Yeah.
read it just sounded like this big, amazing. I know I'm fantastic, but just hearing it, it just sounded like someone far, far, far away and up there. But thank you so much for having me on the Passionate Professional. And you're one person who has been able to just pronounce my surname without me correcting them properly. So
Oh,
well
wow.
done.
Wow. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Thank you so much.
you're welcome.
Well, I hope your day, your weekend has been good.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been kind of busy. Had an event yesterday, rested a bit, and then I'm on here now. But it's been good. It's been fun.
Wow. I remember I was asking you just before we started, like, are you going on air tomorrow? Because it's supposed to be a bank holiday, and you're like, yes. I'm like,
Uh,
ah.
there's no
Oh,
bank
but yeah,
holiday for us as broadcasters. We have to be there
yeah.
to serve you. So yeah,
Yeah, I would guess that's another day that many people will be willing to listen because obviously they don't have work, they just come on. So it's going to be like a peak day for you. But yeah, thank
yeah.
you so much and thank you for sending the bio. But obviously the bio is what would present if you're going up on stage to give a keynote, which I know you've done several times. But sometimes people just say, okay, tell us about yourself. Like, okay, where are you
Yeah.
from? Your name is a
Okay.
unique name. How do you pronounce it? What does it mean?
Hmm.
Just tell us a bit more about
Yeah.
yourself.
All right. My name is Eloho, which means prosperity, and it's from the Niger Delta state of Nigeria. My surname or my marital name is Efemuai. So I usually teach people to pronounce it the letters FMY. So I'm Eloho Efemuai, and I'm married with three kids. My eldest is 18, and I've got 11-year-old twins, a boy and a girl. What else about me? I sing. I love to sing. I love music. Music is my safe place, is my comfort zone. Whenever I'm dealing with anything, I just fall back to music. Even when I can't pray, because as I'm a person of faith, even when I can't pray, music is what keeps me. What else about me? I started an online Christian radio station 5 years ago. And only a few weeks ago, we were granted an Ofcom license to broadcast on digital audio broadcasting DAB in Edinburgh. What else about me? I love food. I love food. And I come from a creative family, a very, very creative family. If you are Nigerian and you know the Amatas, then you would know that I am from that family. I'm the youngest in that family. I didn't act, but I'm still creative. I'm still doing creative stuff. So that's about me. What else? What else
Wow,
would you like to
thank you
know
so
about
much.
me?
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the acting bit. Like, is this something you're considering in the future, or do you think you're going to
Oh,
be in front of the
I'm
camera?
actually, I think it was early this year. I called my big brother, who's in London, by the way, and he's a movie producer, director, and I said I want to release a movie for my big birthday. So it's gonna be my big birthday soon.
Yeah.
And I want to release a movie. So we're still talking about it because I need to put a script together or put a story together and get the professionals to do a script. I don't know if I'm going to act in it, but I really would love to just put a movie out there. Yep.
Oh, thank you for giving us more lights, and I'm sure that will be that will be one to watch when you release that movie for a big birthday. I think I have an idea because I always do research on people that I speak with, so I have an idea of what it is, but
About the
yeah,
big
it will be
birthday,
one
yeah?
to look. Yeah, yeah, well, that'll be one to look forward to. All right, so
Yeah.
it's the Passionate Professional series, and basically we always want to ask people, professionals, like, what are you passionate about? Because I know someone that says that the secret to passions is purpose. So once you know your purpose, then basically you align your passions to your purpose. So many people have that misconception that as long as I like something, it's my passion. But I think
Mm,
passion is something that is stronger. It's something that comes from your heart, that is burning with your heart. Someone says that passion is something that will wake you up in the middle of the night. So tell us then,
yeah.
what are those things that you are passionate about?
Okay. Apart from music, um, I'm passionate about my family. First of all, I love my family. I love my kids to bits. I love my husband, and um, burst out into song. I will. I will tell you something about that. We have this joke. But really, I'm passionate about my family, which tells you that I'm passionate about people. I love
Yeah.
people. There was a time I used to on all of my bios, I used to say, I love Jesus. I love people because I'm passionate about people. I'm passionate about seeing people become the very best version of themselves. I'm passionate about people living a fulfilled life. So these are some
Mm.
of my passions. I'm passionate about media. I'm passionate about social media, using the power of social media, using the power of visibility to amplify your message. Mark Zuckerberg and all the other people have given us this tool. And like I'll tell my children or people around me, if Jesus was living in these times, he would use social media. So I'm passionate about media, broadcast media, TV media, everything media. I am passionate about that. So those are some of my passions.
Wow, I love that. I love that. And I love how you started with family, obviously. And then you talked about people, and that's really good. I mean, being passionate about people, caring about people. Someone says that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And basically, I said at
Exactly,
the start,
exactly,
the
exactly.
quality of your life actually depends on the quality of your relationship. So yeah, being passionate about people. I mean, this is the passion and purpose of we're talking about being a passionate professional. If you said that your purpose was all about yourself, then it won't make any
Oh
significance, to be honest.
no, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's when it's
as
about
long as
others.
I've yeah, from as long as I can remember, even as a little girl, I'd always wanted to help people. That is just, it's something that it just happens naturally. It just comes naturally before anybody says anything. Oh, I can do it, which is good. But then I didn't have any boundaries. So, I mean, we're going to go into that later on. But
Yeah,
all I wanted to do was just help people. So I found it difficult to say no, and got me into so many trouble. But at a point I was like, maybe I should stop being passionate about people because of all of my experiences. But I said, no, it's a gift,
yeah,
and like you rightly said, we need people, we need community, we need connection, for us to
yeah.
thrive in whatever it is that we do, business, ministry, whatever it is, career. You need people around you. So I'm just passionate about helping people, just celebrating people and empowering people with all that God has blessed me with.
Oh, that's so heartwarming, and yeah, it's so inspiring as well to know that you're living a life to add value to others. Um, Talking about value, then, Another question I
Yeah,
like asking people at the very beginning is, what are your values? Because I'm always interested in knowing
yeah.
what values you've crafted on, or the values that you live by.
Mm-hmm. All right. Top. On the number one list, I'm sure you can already guess that. Family. Family is
Yeah.
also so important. Loyalty, consistency, commitment, um, being kind. Yeah, kindness. And what are my top values again? So these are some of them: family, loyalty, love, kindness, commitment, consistency. There's one something else around kindness that I usually would put in my values, but these are my some of my values, and the strongest of all of them is my faith.
Hmm. Wow. I have here. I mean, I can give you something that will help you remember. Because I've written
Yeah.
it down. I've written two F's, two L's, and two C's. So the two F's are faith and family. The two L's are loyalty and love, and the two C's are commitment and consistency. Wow, I love that.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah. So yeah, it's something that will help you like remember every time someone just asks you. Just give it to them. But
Two
yeah, I
F's,
love
two C's,
commitment.
and two L's.
Two
Yeah,
L's.
that's
Yeah.
nice.
But I really love commitment and consistency. People think that they're the same, but they are not really the same. But when they work
No,
together,
they're not.
it
Yeah,
produces magic.
yeah.
And and again, the next question is related to your commitment and consistency. So, what are your productive habits? What are some things that you are really consistent and committed to that you feel has helped you
Okay.
to reach the stage that you are at right now?
All right. I mean, so some of my most productive habits, number one will be waking up before 5 a.m. To do my morning prayers, devotion, journaling, even though I'm still struggling with that journaling process. But when I'm on it, I'm on it.
Yeah.
But waking up at 5 a.m., doing my morning devotions, praying, and then joining the several other little prayer meetings I join in the mornings, and then expressing gratitude, then preparing for my radio show every morning. So I'm up about 4 a.m., half four, depending. I sleep early at night, you know. I would in time past be in bed by 9. Nobody speaks to me by 9. Everybody knows that after 8 p.m. you can't speak to her. She's not useful to anyone after 8. But with the radio with the radio station, I found myself that I'm staying later and later, which is not good for my waking up. So I'm trying to balance it, but really, really, I try to go back to bed earlier so that I can wake up
Yeah.
before 5 a.m. to do everything that I need to do before the show, which starts at 6:30 a.m. And then after the show, immediately after the show, I have to do the school runs with the kids, you know. So on our
Hmm.
way to school runs, that's when we do our positive affirmations on the way. I drop them off, then I come back and I could either go for a walk, um and it's after my work I can have breakfast. So I either go for a walk, come back, have a shower, and then the day starts. So these are some of my productive habits. I forgot to include that I read a chapter of a book every morning as well. So important. But don't look at me like a superwoman, because this just didn't happen overnight. I used to struggle a lot with my mornings, you know. I'll wake up early, but I'll just be in bed till about
Hmm.
maybe 7:38, doing nothing but just scrolling through social media. And then I'll
Yeah.
start hurrying the kids, let's go. And then I'm screaming at them. It's not their fault because you were
Hmm.
not productive with the hours you had. So as soon as I took charge of my mornings, I said, there are lots of people out there who are like me. So I'm going to help them start their mornings right. That's what gave birth to my show, Arise with Eloho, 5 years ago.
Wow, wow. I like the fact that you started with waking up early, because it's something that I've always tried to incorporate as well. There's someone that
Yeah,
puts it this way, that the first, at least if you wake up early, you've won the battle already when you start. You've won the battle of the bed. So it's more like you and the bed have been wrestling, like don't go, and then you win that battle by waking up early and getting up anyway. But also it
yeah,
gives you that advantage, like that you feel like everybody's still sleeping, but you started. It feels like you're running a race and you've already gone ahead, and it gives you that mental advantage. Reading a chapter
yeah.
of a book every day, journaling, positive affirmations. I like that. You say you do it on your school run, so it's like you and your
Yeah.
children, you do the
So
positive affirmation.
yeah, me and my kids. I'll tell you
Wow.
something about that. So I think it was in 2020 during, no, was it 2020 or just before the lockdown, I believe. I can't remember when, but my daughter had been having issues with um her best friend, yeah, but the best friend started to bully her, and so my daughter didn't want to go to school. Every morning it was something else. It had to be something, maybe my tummy today, my tooth tomorrow, my head. And I was like, what is going on? You must go to school. Until
Yeah.
eventually I discovered, that she was being bullied. Her friends were making her feel like she wasn't pretty enough. She was this, and that affected her confidence, and her self-esteem. And I'm like, not on my watch. I dealt with all of this. I battled it. I
Hmm.
suffered it. And I know how it has affected me in life. So it's not going to happen to you either. So I then crafted, our own affirmations, which I actually turned into a PDF, a lead magnet, and I give to people who want to use it. So we started doing that. And if I continue, my daughter was not doing well in school. It affected her grades. So we started with these affirmations, included her twin brother in it. And I mean, initially it was a struggle to get them to do it. Now they can even say it without me. Tell you what happened after. I'm not even sure after how long, I don't know, but the next time her results was going to come out, she smashed it. She had all A's,
Oh,
and she has now
wow.
become so confident in herself. So when even people are trying to put her down, she remembers who she is and she declares it. So that's the power of affirmations. I believe in them so much.
I do as well. I think words have
Yeah.
power is what you say that becomes reality.
Yeah,
Everything that we see here first starts is being created mentally before you see it physically, isn't it? Wow.
exactly.
So let's go into some of the things that people have been itching to hear. So it's what are some of your biggest or your proudest achievements?
Okay. So the first big, 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 big proud achievement will be the radio station. That's one. The second, or should I do the other way around? Well, the, the first, maybe the first or second, but radio station, organizing a concert. So in 2011, I started to organize a concert, and it would have been 10 years in 2020, but because of COVID and lockdown, we couldn't celebrate our 10th year. But as a result of hosting that concert, I mean, I had some really good top A class or whatever you call them, attend
Hmm.
Muyiwa Olariwaju, for those who know Cheryl Franklin, Bob Fitts, had names like that. Philippa Hanna had names like that who came for Engage. And this was me, a shy, every other person in the world will see that, wow, Eloho is doing great. But I was battling with demons inside. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't even bold to sing at my own concert. But what that did for me was that it helped me grow. Yeah. It um it helps me connect with so many people from across the world. And it also brought people together, friendships, business partners. So Engage, the concert, the radio station are some of my biggest and proudest achievements ever. Yeah.
Wow. And showing now is a picture of you with your what would I call it? Is it a mixer? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, so this was this was in 2019 when I got interviewed by the Daily Post, I think, the Daily Post
Yeah.
or the Sunday Post. I'm not sure which was one of them. So they came into my studio, which is a converted garage. So they came in to take some photos to just see what I was about. And so this was
Hmm.
me on my mixer with my headphones and microphones. That was 2019, yeah.
Wow. I love the way the colors feels like there's the
Yeah.
orange and the red and the blue lights, the yellow, everything just mixed together to form a beautiful picture.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
I like the fact that you're doing it from the garage as well. I think
Yeah,
I've told someone before as well that I'm streaming from my garage. Like, why instead of using it as just a place to dump things, I don't make it a place that you can
exactly.
create something for the world to
Yeah.
to
When we
marvel at.
when we conceived, yeah, when we conceived the vision about the radio station, my husband was like, "Oh, let's look for a building," And when we're going to move into this house, I saw the garage. I was like, sweetheart, you know what? Let's start here. Let's use the garage. We can start from the garage before getting that building. And right now, I'm at that point where we are ready for a building now, you know? So
Mhm.
start from where you are. That's the bottom line. Just start from where
Exactly.
you are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So, yes, you've done Engage. You have this Heart Song Live radio that is going places. Well, has it all been smooth for you, or have you had times when it's been you laugh?
I wish I wish I could say yes. I wish I could say yes.
So,
Well, there's
tell
been
us about a difficult time in your life, and I mean, how did you manage it? Because that's what
all
encourages
right.
people the most, knowing that. I
Mhm.
mean, if Eloho could go through it, then I can go through it as well.
All right. Okay, I mean, I've been through so much. I've had different challenges from rejection, from disappointment, from betrayal, from losing money, from all sorts of things. But one of my most difficult moments was when I was trying to discover myself. And during that season, I was looking to everyone else but me, but God, what He has put inside of me. I was seeking everybody's approval, but getting nobody's approval, you know.
Mm,
And oh, okay. Let's see if I can take that out. You know, I was seeking for approval from everyone, but getting approval from no one. And so I began to question myself to like, am I even good enough? Am I worth it? Maybe I should not be doing everything that I was doing. I started to compare myself with other people, and it got really, really bad. I was allowing people into my life. There was no boundaries at all, so that was affecting my productivity. It was even affecting my health, my mental health as well. And it was a really, really difficult season, for my life, in my life, sorry. And I remember sometimes my husband would try and encourage me, but then, when when you're dealing with all of these kind of things, you think nobody understands you.
mm,
But it took me working with a coach. It took me, going through some programs, and having a mind shift, to say, you know what, I'm valuable, I'm worth it. I don't necessarily need anybody to approve of what I do or what I don't do or what I wear or what I don't wear. If God has given me this dream, this vision, this gift, and I know that God has sent me, then why am I needing someone else to approve of what I do when they can't even give themselves approval?
mhm,
So thankfully, I started to work with a coach. I began to see myself as an eagle. My coach said something to me: "You're an eagle, but you're trying to fly with chickens."
mm,
and, and that completely transformed my life, completely changed my mindset. And I read the book As a Man Thinketh, and I began to realize that it is how I think about myself that I will be and that I will become.
mm,
So it was at that point I was tired. Actually, I think my book says that I was tired of just going round the same circle over and over again, begging people for attention, seeking people's attention, seeking approval. And I say, you know what, enough is enough. I am tired. I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm not going to remain in this place where I am allowing all of these demons, this emotional stuff, stop me from really living a fulfilled life. And it was then and then I said, okay, no more. I'm going to tell my story. I have been through all sorts. I have been through all kinds of rejections and disappointment, abuse. And I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I can't be everybody's cup of tea, you know.
mm,
But I know that there's someone who would like chocolate, hot chocolate, for instance. I
Yeah.
probably can write that person's hot chocolate. And so that's when I decided, okay, you know what, I'm going to write this book. I'm going to tell my story. And for me, telling my story, sharing my story in that book liberated me. It just lifted me from the place where I was. It gave me so much confidence, and so that was the time, that time I had to go through, learning, unlearning, and relearning about me, myself, and who God has called me to be. So yeah.
Wow. I totally agree with you. When you said that you had to go through learning, unlearning, and relearning. And I also like the fact that you also did not just say, oh, this is where I came from and I just came out of it. You told us how the things that you did that helped you come out of it. You told us that you got yourself a personal coach, you read books. And another thing that was interesting, you probably, I don't know if you thought of it this way, that writing the book actually even helps you more because
Yeah,
again then you're
yeah.
able to bring it to life
Oh,
as well.
yeah, it did a lot. It did a lot for me. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that expressing that creativity by writing a book also gave you confidence in yourself that you
That's
know what,
right.
I can do this, I
I
can
can
do
do
this as
this.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the lesson for everyone. If you're going through challenging times, you're having low self-esteem. Sometimes people confuse it with humility, but they're not exactly the same thing. Like
No.
they're exactly different things. Like humility is like, oh, you're contributing other people, how you can help other people. But low self-esteem is you're actually thinking lowly of yourself, and they're not the same thing at all. But
Mhm.
thank you for sharing that challenging time of your life and how you were able to come through it. So, my next question for you is, I mean, fine, you're every day you're or nearly every day you are on digital radio, inspiring people. But I know that's not all you do. You still do some other things like some hobbies. You might not call them your passions, but some things that you do. Because every human being has hobbies. So, what are some of the hobbies that you've got? What do you do when you have spare time when you're not on set? Or
I watch movies. I like to watch good comedy. And this weekend, actually, I've done that with my kids just to laugh. And in fact, this afternoon we did watch a movie together, some chicken hair. And I can be really crazy when I'm watching movies. Even my husband will tell me, Ellie, calm down. It's just a movie. Screaming, "Oh my God, why are you not doing this?" And it cracks my kids up a lot because it's like, Mom, calm down. So I love watching movies. I love cooking. I love going for a walk. I think some of my most brilliant ideas come from when I'm working. And I love to talk with my friends a lot. I love chatting. I love chatting. And I, when I was going to get married, because I love the telephone so much, my big
Mhm.
sister, my brother, they were almost going to make a telephone cake for me because that's how I, I love
That would
to
be
just
funny.
I love to just talk with my friends, and family. Yeah, so these are some of my hobbies. Mhm.
I know you also like cooking, so tell us about
Yeah,
that.
actually,
I've
this
got a
weekend,
picture of
oh, we
one of the
all
meals
cook.
that you.
I should have sent you today's meal. Oh, that one looked so amazing. This was, I think this was last year as well. Was it early last year when I was on a hold that I was on a challenge for a few good months, to
Hmm.
cook healthier. So I
Yeah.
started to experiment, and while experimenting, I made this salmon and spaghetti with some
Hmm.
tomato and spinach sauce. I just made it randomly and I posted it on the group, that I was. And the leader of the group now took this photo and a few other photos and put them on her Instagram. I didn't even know what they were doing. Put them on her Instagram and then asked people to vote. And mine won. I was like, what? It was such
Wow.
a huge surprise. It won, and that won me a Ninja all-in-one set that I'd been wanting. I'd been like, oh,
Oh,
I
that
need.
ninja blender, isn't it?
Yeah, the big one where you can
Yeah.
grill, you can bake, everything in it. So yeah, so
Wow,
that's what my hobby got me.
interesting. How about singing? That's another thing. Do you only sing when you have concerts, or is that something you just do randomly when you're in the house as well?
Okay. So I have two studio albums. My first album was released in 2014. It's called Arise. And my second was released in 2016 called Unrestrained. And I have a few singles and I think a couple of videos and some Christmas singles as well. As we're speaking now, I've been working on a single. I wanted to release it at Easter. It didn't work out. My birthday didn't work out. So hopefully before the end of September or about October or so, we should release. So I sing in churches. I'm invited to sing in different places. I sing. My son says I sing when I'm happy. I sing when I'm sad. I sing when I don't need to sing. And I don't know who it was that put a comment to say that I should just belt out. That is what I do. If we're talking, it just happens. It's crazy. If we're talking and maybe you mention a word,
Hmm.
subconsciously I just start singing that word.
Yeah.
I just start singing that word. And sometimes when it happens, my kids like, Mom, stop it. Stop it. Yeah, but I really, really do love singing. I love music. As I said at the start, music is my safe place. It's
Mhm.
comforting for me. So I love, 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 love to sing, and I'm so grateful. I feel privileged when people ask me to come over and lead them in worship. A few weeks ago, one of my friends, my producers, just texted me. I was like, "Are you available on? Was it Tuesday?" I was like, "What? Why?" They were having a, a virtual prayer meeting or something. Can you lead
Yeah.
worship for? I said, okay, sure, I'll do that. So he said, come so and so time, but I was stuck in traffic. Eventually, I got
Mhm.
to his house because we're going to stream for it. I got to his house just like a few minutes before the prayer session ended, and I was supposed to lead worship, which meant we
Yeah.
had not practiced. We hadn't chosen any keys. We hadn't chosen any songs. I was like,
Hmm.
"What do I do? What do I do?" And so I was like, it's time, it's time, it's time. I just went on the microphone. I just started worshiping, singing, and that was it for half an hour. It was such a powerful session. Even I felt it,
Hmm.
It was so powerful, so liberating, so empowering. And I'm like, wow, God, you're amazing because it's not like I do this every day, but
Yeah.
as a soldier, you're always ready. So that's the impact of music in my life. And even the pastor texted me. My friend was like, "Wow, that was so powerful." And the next Sunday, they said, "Come to church and lead." I was like, "Oh wow, okay." But yeah, I sing.
Yeah. I think music is really powerful. Was someone that was like one of these. Um, I think his name is Frederick Nietzsche. He said, "Without music, life would be a mistake." The good thing about
Exactly.
music is it doesn't just touch the body. It has the power to touch the soul, to touch the
Yeah,
spirit.
yeah,
Just last week, I was watching because I like watching autobiographies, and I just saw the autobiography of Bob Marley, and there was this song that he has. It was like, there's something about music. When it hits you, you don't feel the pain, you don't feel any pain. So just hit me with music.
yeah.
But yeah, music is really powerful. I have a clip from one of your videos. I think one of
He's alive in me. Jesus is alive. Oh, he's alive in me. Yes, he's alive. Let everything that has breath praise the Lord. Let every mountain skip for joy. The Son of Man died for no longer in the grave. He is risen.
Yeah.
Sorry for sorry for the technical challenges. I mean, this thing is just act up. When I tried it earlier, it was playing clearly, and now it's breaking. But I
Oh,
mean, from that, I think that one of your hobbies is dancing as well, or maybe one of the skills you
I
don't
don't
really
know
realize
how to dance.
because you're like. But
I
yeah, that
don't
was I really enjoyed the song. I really and the
thank
colors as
you.
well. Like there's something about what you do. I don't know how you just bring out the colors, but it just made all the colors come to life. It makes me feel like, oh,
Thank
I just feel
you.
like painting.
That song was done in 2016. It was actually released on my birthday that year. And
Wow.
yeah, absolutely love it.
Yeah, on YouTube it has like over 50,000 views.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's impressive.
Thank
Right.
you.
So another thing you do is you are a visibility coach. I mean, that's something that some people. I mean, recently I did a post on LinkedIn and I just asked a random question like, what's one thing that you feel like if you did it will change your the trajectory of your life or your career? And I said for me, I think it's visibility. And everyone just I wanted people to answer and give me other answers, but everyone just said yes. For me, it's also visibility. I'm like, how come everybody is saying visibility? I'm like, so what why is visibility important? I mean, for professionals, I think we know it's important, but we don't really know why.
Yeah. Mhm.
So why is it important for us to be more visible as
Okay.
professionals?
I think, and I know that the best opportunities come to people who are visible. That's why in my program, I teach my clients, 12, well, we go through eight to 12 elements, on why visibility is important, because I mean, so many opportunities come when you are when you're visible. When someone is looking for a person in your niche, you come top of mind when you're visible.
Sure,
Visibility establishes you. For me, it's even grown my confidence. So it grows your confidence because you are, when anybody wakes you up from sleep, you're able, to talk about your your niche, your experiences, your challenges, and how you were able to overcome them, and how you're now helping other people overcome them as well. Visibility is important because it generates leads for you, it generates a business for you as a professional. It doesn't matter what you're doing as a career, as a brand, or as a business person. There are too many opportunities, out there that will come to you. Like I say, it's not the person who knows much about everything that gets the job. Why? Because you may know what you know, but you are not out there letting people know what you know. And so when they're looking for someone, they'll rather go to the guy who is talking about how passionate he is about his profession, how he helps other people with his
yeah,
profession, how he's been able to, like I said earlier, how he's been able to deal with the challenges, and how he can even help you. And then when they need someone for that job, it's you. So it's so important as a professional to grow your visibility. So, so, so important. I mean, there's so many elements, like I said, that I
yeah,
teach my clients in my 8-week program, how to begin to get visible, what you need to do, what are the things to avoid, what are the things that you need to do consistently and regularly, how do you network with other professionals in your niche, how do you speak to your ideal audience, your ideal client. It doesn't matter even if it's a book that you've written, how do you attract people uh, um, of your kind, so that they can read your book and get value from it by being visible, using the power of visibility to go from unknown to unforgettable. So it's so important, really important. I can go on and on.
yeah. I like that statement. Going from unknown to unforgettable, and yes, it's by being visible. I was reading a book and someone said that the most beautiful girl in the world is not the most beautiful girl in the world,
That's
and
true.
that struck me.
That's
Yeah, that
so
struck me. So, like, the most beautiful girl in the world is the person that has come out and has come for a competition for the most beautiful girl in the world. there's probably someone who's more beautiful than her somewhere in one country somewhere that nobody is seeing because he's
Yeah.
just somewhere. Yeah, yeah. I think that's what visibility. Just like you said, being visible brings you opportunities, and people say, "Oh, that guy was just lucky. He was lucky, but
No,
he
it
was
was.
actually visible."
I tell people, yeah, I tell people now, if I hadn't been visible, I would not have gotten the invitation from come dine with me. So I was on
Mhm.
Instagram, being myself, showing up
Yeah.
as my authentic self, you know, uh, placing myself as the expert, as an authority in my field, in my niche, and they found me. And something I've learned also, all of these platforms have different hidden messages and all that. I always go check because there'll be something important. And that was how I saw that I'd been invited to come dine with me. Visibility got me that. Recently, we were just granted an Ofcom license with Heart Song Live. It's still visibility because I was invited. So it's not like I went looking for the opportunity. The opportunity came because I have positioned myself. So visibility, I mean, it does so much for you. It establishes you as an expert, it positions you as an authority. So you want to get out there. And I'm not saying get burnt out in the process or jump on every trend, because that's another
Mhm.
thing. That doesn't mean you're being visible. Don't jump on every trend. You've got to have a strategy for your visibility, how you show up, when you show up, what do you say when you show up. And these are some of the things I teach my clients in my 8-week course.
Yeah, and I know that you have something called your secret sauce
Ooh,
about
yeah.
about content creation, storytelling. What if someone comes to you and says, "Oh, but I don't have a story.
Oh,
I can't do that."
there's nobody who doesn't have a story. Everyone has a story to tell. So when you work with me, we'll be able to bring out the stories that are there that you don't even realize that are there. So everyone has a story.
Yeah. Just ticking below on your screen, you can see to find out more about Eloho, our coaching services, our merchandise. I know she has a store where she has books, she has like t-shirts and things. Just visit our website at elohofemuai.co.uk. So we're just talking about visibility, and I mean, along the discussion, we kept touching on social media, social media, social media. A lot of people there's like a love-hate relationship with social media. Some people say social media is rubbish, stay away from it, avoid social media at all costs. There's some people there are some people that are like, oh, I can't do without social media. But what should our attitude as professionals be regarding our use of social media?
I think there just needs to be a balance. Yeah. As everything else in the world, it has its ups and its downs, it has its pros and its cons. So you just need to figure out why you are using social media. It is when you don't know why you're using it, you'll begin to feel like it is rubbish. But if you have a goal, and then apart from having a goal, you have come up with a strategy for using your social media. Trust me, social media, it is good. I mean, how did you and I connect? Social media.
Social media.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so you can't tell me it's rubbish. There's so many good sides to it. You just need to figure out your why for social media, and don't jump on every platform. You and I, before we came on, I was asking you where this was going to be streamed. You told me YouTube and
Yeah.
LinkedIn. And I said,
Yeah.
why not Facebook? Because your audience is on LinkedIn.
Yep.
For somebody else, it might be Facebook. For others, TikTok, Instagram. You just need to know your why, your goal, know the people you've been called to serve, and then figure out where they're hanging out and you be there for them. But
Mm.
if all you're doing with your social media is scrolling and looking at the next best thing, that influencer or that celebrity or that politician, trust me, social media will be rubbish. but but if you have a plan and a goal and a strategy, you will go in there,
Mm.
do what you need to do, take what you need to take, and that's it. Engage with the right people, and then you will begin to see its value.
Mm. Sure. I mean, I think that was like a paradigm shift for me as well. Like my relationship with social media, I was like, I can be on social media just to consume, or I can be on social media to create as well. I mean, no matter what you say, you'll still consume a bit of social media, but I
Of
always make
course.
sure that I create more than I consume. I
Yeah.
create more than I consume, and I think that's what I do with social media.
Mhm. Yeah, I think
So,
so. Being a creator, consuming, yes, but being a
yeah,
once you become a creator on social media, you'll begin to see it for all its advantages and all its benefits. But I mean, we all consume each other's content anyway.
definitely, definitely. There's nothing new under the sun. I mean, we all
Exactly.
learn from each other. I agree with you. Let's see. We have just about 9 minutes to go. I'll just ask you a couple more questions. So, can you tell us about your some of your favorite books? I think I have a picture of your books that you listed for me. I'm just going to share it and just if you can just tell me, I mean, why? I mean, you've already talked about your book. You've talked about As a Man Thinketh. Um, yeah, yeah. There's also the Bible and Today Matters. Why are these books special to you? I mean, probably as a group, what do these books mean to you? I think I've lost that for a bit. I'm gonna add back to the chat.
Yeah. All right. It's good to be back. So, as a man thinketh helped me with my mindset when I was struggling with
Mm,
all of my insecurities, when I was dealing with all of that lack of self-confidence, low self-esteem issue. It helped me, take charge of my mind. One of the things I loved about that book and what it said was our minds are like a garden, when weeds are growing in the garden. I'm paraphrasing, but I believe, when weeds are growing in the garden, we do everything to get our lawn mowed. We can get a gardener to tidy it up, so that it looks clean. But our minds are like that garden, yet we allow the weeds stay in. Oh my goodness. When I read that, I was like, okay, I have to start getting these weeds off and replacing them, with I mean, if you're taking care of your garden, you replace them with water, things to make the garden look beautiful and grow well. So I had to begin to replace my thoughts, my mindset, with positive things, so that's why I love As a Man Thinketh. For John Maxwell's book, I mean, I love John Maxwell's books, but for me, one of the very first ones I read, Today Matters. What you do today is going to impact your tomorrow, and I don't know if it was in this book, but John Maxwell usually would say that you can choose to play now or pay later, or
later.
pay now and play later. So for me, today is so important. What am I doing with my time? What am I doing with my family, with my job, with my business? It's somehow everything I have done has led me to this point. So I better be
Mm-hmm.
making right choices today. So today matters. I mean,
Matters.
today is guaranteed anyway. Tomorrow is not. So what you do
Yeah.
today matters a lot. You're not everyone's cup of tea. Is my book, is my story, is my journey. In was it February or April? I traveled with the kids, to visit my husband, and I was at a point where I was having so much in my mind, I was like asking God certain questions. I was feeling some of all of the things that I had been delivered from. I was feeling them coming back again. So on the flight, I read it on the flight. I just picked my book. It was on my iPad. I just opened
Yeah.
it and I read it from top to finish. Oh my goodness. It transformed my own life reading it. I was like, hello, my friend, would you come on, stop all this? It transformed my life and the Bible. What would I do without the Bible? I love the Bible. There's so many scriptures that, I mean, I've read the Bible over and over again, but when you read it, every time there's a new revelation on the same scripture that you would have
Mm.
read, over and over again. So I love the Bible for that. It is fresh, it is living. I mean, anytime I'm having any issues, I mean, one of the scriptures that I really, really love was when God was talking about even the birds of the air. They are not They are not worth anything, but he takes care of them. How much more you? You know, and then he goes
Mhm.
on to say, stop being afraid of all of these bullies. I'm like, yes, the message. That's from the
The
message
message
translation.
translation. Yeah, I love that
Yeah.
translation. Yeah.
So the Bible is active, is powerful, and I don't know what I would do without, the Bible in my life.
Wow. Thank you for giving us a brief pit stop of all the books that have impacted you and what you've brought out of them. Just before I go to the last question, I just want to ask you because I know I read through your life story and how you had to combine 9 to 5 with raising kids. You've got 3 kids, and
Yeah.
yeah, that was from there you took a journey, self-awareness, found out what you're really passionate about. But I know even with your radio station, being a brand visibility coach, a singer, and having to balance family and things like that. So how do you do it? I mean, what are some tips you can give people? Because there's some people that are like, I want to be passionate, I want to go out there, but my family is there, my finances are there. How can I just balance everything?
I know that. I mean, it's a struggle we all have, right? You want to, especially when you're building from zero, all your energy, your emotions, everything goes into that. But I had to learn, how to make time for the family. I remember there was one time my husband and I used to even like, you're always this, you're always doing that, you're always, because he works away, and then when he comes home, I'm still on my computer
Mhm.
or the radio station. So I had to learn, that family time is family time, because we try this thing to just we try to balance, and balance is a myth. It's a myth. So I had to learn, okay, family time is family time, even though as a human being you will still sleep a bit, but carrying your family along, getting them involved in the process, and say, okay, guys, like there was one Christmas I said, you know what, I'm gonna switch off completely, and I did. Even my husband was shocked. We went for a meal, because usually we'll go for a breakfast meal with the kids, and everybody was bringing out their phone. My phone was in the car. I left it deliberately because I wanted to spend time, with the family. So I am learning. I'm still on a journey. I'm not there yet, but
Mm.
I'm learning to carry them along, to say, okay, when I'm busy, they all know. In fact, when I was coming here, Josh was like, do you have a meeting now? I'm like, yes, letting the kids know exactly this is what I'm doing at what time I'm doing it. When we're done, we will hang out, we'll watch a movie together. Same thing with my husband. When he's around, we find time to just go out, even if it's an hour we're spending together or we're talking. But I think it's a deliberate action, is intentionality, and letting the family know that, okay, this is I'm doing this at this time. I would even need your help, so that there's not that where you're neglecting family just because you're pursuing a business, a brand, or ministry or career. So it's intentionality, being deliberate, speaking to your family, carrying them along, getting them involved in the process and in your journey as well. Yeah.
Wow. I totally resonate with everything you've said, especially the bit that you said that balance is a myth. Because sometimes we think that yes, we can balance everything. I was reading a
Yeah,
book recently, and it was like, yeah, you might say that you're balancing everything, but they are not all the same. There are some bits
they're
that if
not.
they fall down and they break, you can't pick them back up.
Yeah,
So one of them is like family, the other one was like health. It's just like you're juggling balls and eggs, and you say that you're balancing them. They're not
no,
exactly the same.
they're
Some
not.
are more
They're not.
precious than the other. I
In
totally agree
20,
with you.
in 2013, when I left, because I was in a full-time employment, and I knew something had to give at that point. I had just had the twins were maybe about almost two or so, and I knew something had to give, and it was not going to be me, my family, or my ministry. So I had to stop working. I was like, I don't know where the money is going to come from. I don't know how I'm going to make it, but my husband had said, if you stop, I'll provide for you. I would support you. And so I left my job at that point, because my family were not going to suffer at the expense of a job. So yeah,
Wow.
Something's got to give.
That's um that's a hard lesson we need to take. Something's got to give. We've already done 1 hour, so I think the last question I'm going to ask you, more like a closing, is I always like to ask this because it's something that always resonates with me, and it is, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want to be known for?
Wow. What do I want to be known for? Oh my God. You didn't tell me about that. But whew, I mean, what would I want to be known for? A woman who loved the Lord, who loved Jesus, and poured out of the abundance of the love that she had received to everyone that she encountered. Who left a positive, lasting impact on the lives of the people she encountered. I think
Wow.
so.
Wow, I mean, it just ties in with your passion or your values, like you said, love, and you're passionate about people, and you're saying that out of the love you've received, you poured it out to others, and
Yeah.
that's something that I mean, that's what we talk about legacy. You want to know, like, if someone comes like 20 years, 100 years down the line, who was a lover? She was someone that poured love onto other people, and that's a good way to close today's episode on the Passionate Professional series. Thank you so much, Eloho, for
Thank you too.
jumping on the show and for adding value to myself and to everyone that has been watching, and for anyone that's going to be watching the replay as well. So we're going to see you again same time last Sunday of the month in the month of September. And as I always like to close, till we meet again, make sure you keep living with passion and purpose. We will see you later. Bye, everyone.
Bye.